Hello, hello. Welcome all to the Open Days event of the Lithuanian University of Health Sciences. The topic today is We Are LSMU. I am Justina, International Program Coordinator, and I will moderate the session today. So first of all, let me briefly introduce the plan of the event. So first of all, we will have the presentation about the university from the Dean of the International Relations and Studies Center. Then we will move on with a short video about our university. Then we will stream the live discussion of student ambassadors. They will discuss the most important questions that we are asked by the applicants. After that, we will move with an online campus tour. And then, of course, we will have the question and answer session. And you are welcome to give us all the questions in the end. Of course, in the very end, we will also split you to the breakout rooms of the student ambassadors and the international coordinators that will help you to answer the questions. So let me now introduce the team. So, of course, first of all, Dean of the International Relations and Studies Center, Professor Ingrida Janulevičienė.
Hello, everybody. I'm really happy to see you all here, and we have quite a lot of you today, so it means that we will have an active discussion. So talk to you soon about the university.
Thank you, Dean. Then International Coordinator Aušra.
Hello everyone. I was the one who sent you invitations today, so very welcome to our event. And I'm here today to take your questions. So please be active and post your question in the chat box during all the meeting. And in the end of the webinar, 3 most active participants will get a prize, an LSMU t-shirt. And moreover, thanks for sending questions in advance. This has helped us to find out what issues you care about. I will provide these questions and answers in chat later.
Thank you, Aušra. We will also have few more international coordinators. So Milda is one of them.
Hello, my name is Milda and I'm in charge for migration issues at the university. If you have any questions about migration procedure or about national visa ID, please write me, okay, in chat box.
We also have Ruta, who will join us a little bit later. She is responsible for admission and will be willing to help you and answer all your questions connected to the admission. Then we will also have international coordinator and admission advisor for public health, Simona. Do we have Simona?
Yes, you have Simona. Hello,
Thank
everyone. I'm very happy that you joined us, and I hope we have a great, I don't know, 2 hours of our meeting. And if you will have any questions, so I am waiting, and I hope I'll answer everything what you need. Okay,
thank you, Simona.
For everyone, yes.
And we also have some special guests for you today. So one is our head of the Academic Mobility Division, Janeta.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. So I'm a head of Academic Mobility Division, and we are the persons who are inviting and motivating students to take part on exchange programs. Erasmus, as you probably heard already, is an amazing possibility for students to go on exchange to our partner universities. Welcome all your questions. See you soon.
Thank you, Janeta. We also have Jovita Demskytė, lecturer assistant from the Faculty of Nursing.
Hello, everyone. I am nursing teacher. So if you will join our program, I will see you each year. So if you have any questions, also be free to ask.
Thank you, Jovita. And then we have Gintarė Bukartaitė, international coordinator as well from the Faculty of Nursing.
Hello, everyone. So welcome to join this nice event, and Mia and Jovita will try to answer all your questions regarding nursing studies and other studies as physiotherapy or occupational therapy.
Thank you, Gintare. And of course, the last but not the least, our student ambassadors, Natalie, Marcus.
Hi guys, so my name is Natalie. I'm a 4th year medical student and I'm a student ambassador, and I will answer all your questions which you have to the students.
Thank you. Jismi Gigi.
Hello everyone, I'm a 5th year medical student and I'm really glad to talk with you guys. Hope it will be really helpful.
Thank you. Paula Gusaida.
Hello, everyone. I am 3rd year veterinary medicine student, ambassador from Spain, and I'm really excited to meet all of you and answer all your questions.
Thank you. And Patience Mogakane.
Hi, everyone. My name is Patience from South Africa, and I'm also an ambassador. I'm glad you're here, and I hope I can answer all your questions.
Thank you, Patience. So here is the team of us today, ready to give some information, answer your questions, discussions today. So I would like now to give the stage to our Dean and her presentation about the university. Let's wait a little bit. Yeah.
Do you see my slides?
Yes, Dean, we do.
Okay, so let's start the introduction.
Thank you.
So about LSMU, first of all, let me ask you the question, who are you here today? You think that your parents and teachers told you to participate? You want to find where Lithuania is? Or you have a dream? Please vote. Oh, lovely. We have a dream team today. Okay, so let's fulfill all your dreams. We are the public university that was established in 1922, and we are the largest university for biomedical sciences in Lithuania. So our top selected programs are attracting highest scored students, not only in Lithuania, but also from all over the world. Our quality assurance complies with the European Union standards for universities. We have international membership and expertise in different organizations. And main goal is for us to integrate, to have mixed groups, cultural exchange, international teachers, and involvement in different projects. Our main values, or as we sometimes say, genetic background of our university is integrity of teaching, training, practice, and research. It means that we have 3 main dimensions how you study at LSMU. And you will enjoy multicultural international dimension, competence-based education, and very important feature, if we think that main motto of the university is respect life, so academic honesty is a must. The structure of the university is quite complex. We have 2 academies, medical and veterinary. In Medical Academy, we have 5 faculties of medicine, odontology, pharmacy, nursing, and public health, and 3 research institutes. In Veterinary Academy, we have veterinary medicine faculty and faculty of animal science. Practice is based on main hospitals, LSMU Hospital, Kauno Klinikos, which is the biggest hospital in the Baltic region, and also regional hospital, Kaunas Hospital. Plus, you have practice while studying veterinary medicine in small or large animal clinics. Plus, we have Biological Research Center and Institute of Animal Science. So full complex based on the research, clinical practice, and your study activities. The community of LSMU is like a huge family. You will not feel lonely among almost 8,000 students, more than 1,000 academic staff, more than 1,000 other staff, and 200 research staff. So we all feel ourselves like a big, big family. As already mentioned, we are a World Health Organization collaborating center for nursing education and practice for the prevention and control of non-communicable diseases. And as you know, we are also collaborating now when we have COVID infection spread all over the world. And we are a member of different organizations as European University Association, veterinary, odontology, medical schools in Europe, and public health organizations. Now, what can we offer to study you? So first of all, again, Paul's question, what would you value most during your studies? Professionalism, comfort, or challenges? Please vote. Okay, as you see, professionalism, 63% of you would value professionalism and almost 40% would look for challenges. And it's good that nobody is looking for comfort. Of course, LSMU is not for comfort. If you want to study at Health Science University, it means that you need to be very, very motivated, professional, and have the goal in your life to help people. So why LSMU? For what reason do you want to study abroad? You want to improve your English language skills, gain independence, or experience different cultures? Please vote. As I see, it is hard to find one answer because the answers are floating. Most of you want to experience different cultures and gain independence from your family. And some of you are also interested in improving English language skills. So good. Bringing you the idea, we have the 30 years of experience. We are not fresh in what we do. We already started 30 years ago with the first students coming from Lebanon, and now we have experience of almost 1,000 students together. So last year it was a celebration of 30 years of international education. As you see, we all were wearing face masks, keeping safe distance, but the celebration was really great for both students and our staff. So if you want to explain what students get in the university, the first thing is student support and individual care possibilities, integrity of studies, research and practice, largest clinical hospital in the Baltic states, small academic groups, multicultural student community, quality assurance, extensive mobility programs, and transfer of study results. When COVID pandemic started, we managed to switch on to hybrid mode of studies. It means that some of the lectures were online and some practical remained face-to-face and in the hybrid labs. We also started entrance exams online. So with the full explanation how to manage, how to find our university, how to keep the entrance exam, we have admission officers. If you have questions, please get your questions to the chat box and you will get all the answers. What worries you while you plan your studies abroad? Excessive study time, workloads, homesickness, tuition fees, or you have no worries at all? I would like to find more answers, no worries at all, because you have to be self-confident and believe in your future. But we have quite a lot of answers: homesickness and difficulties adapting to new demands. So for those who are afraid that it will be not easy, so we have the full student support program. We have mentors and tutors. It means that we have senior students who take care of the younger year students. They help you in your studies, and they also help you organizing your life activities while you are in Lithuania. In the international office, we have psychologists who provide medical care for those who have homesickness. You do not need to go to the hospital, but you have the psychologist working in the international office who is eager. We have two psychologists, so they are eager to help you, to talk to you, and to understand what worries you a lot. We also have parent ambassador program, so parents can talk to each other, because we understand that parents are also scared and maybe they are not so self-confident as younger generation, and they would like to know what happened to other kids and how other parents manage to cope with the problem. Besides that, we have different student activities. Student council, it means that students are actively involved in the government of the university. Student scientific society, which helps students to gain their scientific research activities, and different non-governmental and sports organization and different activities. We believe that now, when we started vaccination of our students as well as teachers, we will soon get back together and we will be able to have meetings not online as today, but we will meet somewhere socially and enjoy each other's company. We have student life activities like folk dance, sports organizations. So for those who are interested in having some ideas on learn language easier, we really have what to offer in the same university. You do not need to go somewhere outside. So let's talk a little bit about international students. Try to guess, what is the percentage of international students at LSMU? 5%, 100%, or 20%? Yes, most of you are right. We are 20% of international, we have 20% of international students here at LSMU. So it means that every fifth student at LSMU is international. We still want to divide Lithuanian and international, but we have mixed groups that really help our students to get together and adapt better. Lithuanian students get a lot from their studies in English language, and international students learn Lithuanian and get adapted to life in Lithuania much easier when they are involved in the mixed group for studies. So mixed groups is one of the activities that we are really very happy to have it. From 1,327 students coming from 78 countries, plus 26 international students who arrived for Erasmus exchange program from 5 countries, we have every fifth student international in different study cycles. Most of our students are coming from Israel, Sweden, and Germany. The fourth place is India, then followed by UK, Spain, Lebanon, and some Lithuanian international students. And as you see, if we have 78 countries, students from 78 countries, we are covering almost all the map all over the world. So it's really nice to have all of them. While they are at LSMU, you can learn a lot about different cultures, different lifestyles, different kitchen possibilities, and share what meals you have in different countries while studying at LSMU. As you see, the branches of different study programs. In total, we have 17 study programs offered in English. Most of our students are studying medicine, veterinary medicine, odontology, but still we have a lot of interesting study possibilities like pharmacy, psychology, public health, nursing, occupational therapy, animal science, lifestyle medicine, public health, human and animal interaction. And all these studies are different in number of years that you need to study. So far, if you choose medicine or veterinary medicine or odontology, it means that after 5 or 6 years studies, you will go to residency. And after that, being a young doctor, you will still need some 5 to 10 years to get experience. If you want to achieve your goals more quickly and you want to help people easier and more efficiently in a shorter time, so you can choose different bachelor or master's degree programs. As already said, we are not fresh. We have alumni scattered all over the world, and alumni in total we have 1,285 alumni. Most of them are coming from Lebanon, Israel, and Sweden. A little bit about scholarships and grants. We have merit-based scholarships for qualified international students. We have Erasmus program, and also we have Lithuanian state scholarships for full-time master's degree programs. So one of the easiest and most interesting scholarship possibilities, or as we say, mobility possibilities, is Erasmus exchange programs. We have many partners all over the world, and students are coming for 3 to 6 months period to study here. And as you see, 300 students, 120 students incoming, and they change for the semester or for a longer or shorter period. And we try to focus on geographical and study balance, incoming and outgoing mobility balance. So if you have questions, please ask Janetta, and she will tell you how to choose, how to get involved in Erasmus program. Regarding Lithuanian state scholarships for full-time master's degree for the year 2021. So the deadline is approaching. So if you are listening to us and you are from Ukraine, Belarus, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Moldova, so the application deadline is 7th of May. If you need and if you want to have the possibility to get the scholarship, please ask LSMU International Office to assist you with in writing the letter of motivation, which is essential at this stage. And the university also provides 10 LSMU scholarships each semester for the students who are starting for the second year of studies and are very active volunteering in university's internationalization. As you will meet our international ambassadors who will talk to you today, and some of them were really eligible for these scholarships, and we are really happy to get some help also to our students who help the university. If you talk about jobs, student jobs are allowed, though the university is not recommending, because we think that you come here to study. But if you want to work, so for master's degree students, you can work 40 hours per week, for bachelor, 20 hours per week. And after graduation, it is good to know that Lithuanian job market is demanding employees. So you can stay in Lithuania for 1 year after completing your studies. You are granted the temporary residence permit, and the purpose is to look for a job or to continue studies in Lithuania or to go to other European Union countries to find job there. After 5 years of non-interrupted temporary residence permit, you are eligible to apply for long-term residence permit. So one more question, what is Lithuania for you? You have no idea what to expect. You know something and it met your student life expectations, or you assessed carefully and found it as good a place to study. It's good to see that most of you already assessed carefully our curricula, but still we are in need to focus on these 20% who have no idea what to expect. We really want to explain you that you can expect all the best. It will be hard, but it will be very interesting for you. Lithuania is a small country with a population of 2.9 million. Currency is euro. We speak Lithuanian, and if you will start studying at LSMU, you will have to learn a little bit of Lithuanian to get a possibility to communicate with your patients. Capital is Vilnius, and we are located in Kaunas, which is the second largest city in Lithuania. It is a very green city and very student city. We have several universities, and the city is really young. And we are located 100 kilometers from the capital Vilnius and 250 kilometers from the Baltic Sea shore. And in 2022, Kaunas will be the contemporary capital of culture in Europe. So we will have a lot of activities that will also involve our students from all over the world. The question how to apply. So I will not talk a lot because if you have some specific questions, you will talk to our admission officers. But for students who want to study in the integrated and first cycle, they need to have student graduation certificate. You will have to keep the entrance exam. You need to have English language equivalent and motivation interview. The whole application process is easy. You just need to follow lines. For when you create your own account and apply lsmu.lt, you go further on with your documentation, you keep the exam, motivation interview, you get registered, you apply for visa, and then you're welcome to LSMU. I would like to stop a little bit on the idea what to study. Maybe most of you already are aware of the study program that you want to choose. But for those who are still wondering what kind of studies to choose, so for integrated studies, you can study medicine, veterinary medicine, odontology, or pharmacy. For bachelor studies, you can choose nursing program, occupational therapy, health psychology, physiotherapy, and medical and veterinary genetics. So it's really interesting that in bachelor programs, if I would think twice, probably I would go for bachelor for the beginning, because you gain the profession very quickly, you get the experience very quickly, you have a lot of practical skills training, and you become a specialist in 4 years. For those who want to study more, they can go also for master's studies and continue in advanced nursing practice. So you will be the very nurse working in the most sophisticated and most complicated neurosurgical and cardiosurgical departments. If you want to be a hospital director, of course, you have to choose applied public health and management of public health programs. Clinical health psychology is really interesting and very important to know what's happening with people nowadays. Lifestyle medicine, to choose healthy style, to live with the disease, animal science, animal-human interaction for those who love animals, and food science for those who want to know what they eat and how to manage the healthy lifestyle. Besides that we have 17 degree programs in English, we have 46 postgraduate medical fellowships. And one important thing, we have pre-medical course, which is now online. For those who are not sure if you are really proficient in biology and chemistry, you can choose our 10 to 12 weeks online course to get prepared for the entrance exam in biology and chemistry to enter the LSMU. So research-based studies, as we talked, that unity of studies, research, and clinical practice, and the research area that you can choose while studying, so from molecular mechanisms via clinical practice till the population-based most interesting studies. And multidisciplinary and problem-based learning approach is used in our university. Problem-based learning means that you are analyzing different problems, trying to find solutions. And you are not just reading literature and not following just textbooks, but you are discussing within other groups, within other students, and trying to find the most possible solution of the problem that patient is having. And research pathway starts from the undergraduate level and close collaboration with national and international research institutions. A few words about University Hospital, which is like small city inside the city. We have 46 buildings that are connected via underground tunnels, and you can stay 24 hours, 7 days per week in different departments, seeing different patients, moving from one department to another. And it's really comfortable and really good for our patients if they are transferred from one department to another. So the hospital is not only big in its location, it's big with its capacity. We have more than 94,000 hospital admissions, more than 6,000 surgeries, 1.3 million patient visits. And these figures are for you to know that you will really have what you see. You will really have the possibility to know the medicine from very near, to touch the patient, to talk to the patient, and to find out what the literature, what the textbook says, and adapt it to the everyday life. And a little bit about living expenses. Our students are usually asking how much does it cost to study in LSMU or to study in Lithuania. So the dormitory is up to 200 euros, depending on you are having single apartment or you're sharing the apartment. If you want to rent an apartment in Kaunas, it's up to 350 euros. And meals, public transportation, health insurance, residence permit, you see the prices. So we calculate that the total living expenses, student standard, would be about 400 to 500 euros per month. That's all I wanted to tell you today, and I hope you will have more questions. So please feel free to get into the chat to ask questions and to find out more about LSMU. And I was happy to tell you a little bit quickly on what we have. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Dean. It was a very informative presentation. I hope that all of you enjoyed it. Now I would like to ask you to relax a little bit and to watch a short video about the most challenging professions that you are willing to study here. So welcome and enjoy.
So you dream of becoming someone deeply knowledgeable on human and animal worlds, saving lives to live your lives filled with meaning. But you've heard that studying at LSMU is hard, right? Well, sorry, but this is true. But you could handle it, right? So imagine you come to these beautiful top-notch facilities where the brightest and toughest minds come to study a lot. It seems insanely interesting to learn how healthcare systems work, or mixing up dozens of ingredients, or figuring out what animals really need. It seems you got confident enough with theory, but then you find yourself in contact with the real thing. But you are tough, right? And now you find yourself going at it harder than ever. You put in hundreds of hours preparing yourself for the real thing. Gaining some practical skills isn't easy. You think nobody does it better than you, but be careful with such thoughts. Just prove to yourself that you can be a pro 24/7 if needed. All of your strength, late nights, you gave it. You gave it fully. But none of that seems enough. Maybe it's just too hard for you, you know? Should you quit? If you stop believing, you fail. No, you will not fail. No number of pages is too much. You must keep going. The moment of truth has only come now. Now is the time to push yourself to the max. Now, could it also be you? There's only one way to find out.
Beautiful. Thank you for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed. And now I would like to give the stage to our student ambassadors and their live discussion. Please, Natalie, welcome.
So hello again. So we're gonna have now like a small discussion between me, Paula, Gismi, and Patience. And we are, so Gismi and I are from medicine, general medicine. Paula is from veterinary, and Patience, I think you're from health science. Which
Health
one?
psychology.
Health psychology, sorry. So we're going to have now a small discussion. And I think first it would be great from all of us just to answer why we chose to study health sciences. So if you want, I can just quickly start. So I don't have somebody in my family who is a doctor or anything. I just said it in elementary school that I want to be a doctor, and that didn't change throughout the years. And so, yeah, I was just determined from young age, and I'm happy to be here. And it was always my dream, and it still is. So Gismi, maybe, or Paula, I think you opened now the microphone first.
Well, in my case, I think all of us really, health sciences is a very vocational career. For me, veterinary medicine, because I love animals and I like medicine, and I think I prefer working with animals rather than humans. So I went into veterinary medicine instead.
Okay.
Okay. For me, as Natalie said, as far as I can remember, I always wanted to be a doctor. And my parents were nurses, and I think that's how I got more attached to the medical profession. And yeah, it is a dream. And the fact that I can like help out people is a really satisfactory and a really happy thing to do.
For me, it's different from everyone else. I was confused in high school, got confused again in varsity. I registered for something else. And I had psychology as an elective, and I just fell in love with it, and I switched studies from art to psychology, which is quite confusing, but yeah. And since then, I've just been in psychology, and I've been loving it. So yeah.
Great. Okay, so now let's talk. Maybe some of us have like some difficulties when we are starting here in Lithuania, or have it's a bit tough to adjust. So maybe Paula, you can say something like, did you have such experience, such bad experience, or also good experience?
Oh, well, I was prepared for the worst. I was very scared. I thought, I don't know, I thought I wouldn't be able to handle it. But in the end, it was actually easier than I was expecting. The hardest part was adjusting to living alone, because I was only 18 years old, and before that I had been living with my parents. So of course I had a lot more responsibility than I used to. But I was expecting to miss my family a lot more than I actually did, because I was so busy and I had so many new experiences, so many exciting new people in my life, that I actually didn't miss my family until, but before I noticed, it was already time to go back home in the holidays. So it was perfect.
Well, that's great. And maybe Gismi can answer that. How do mentors and ambassadors specifically help at our university, like the students?
They basically guide you, like, and if you have any troubles, you can always go up to them, and they are always welcoming to help you out with your problems or difficulties. And each group, like, you'll be divided into groups, and each group will have a mentor, and they from senior years, and they are always helpful with academic stuff. You can always ask them for study materials and how to focus on subjects. That way they were really helpful.
Okay. And now it's funny that I'm going to ask it Patience, because she's studying health psychology, but we also have psychological counseling for students as a support for students, because it is tough to move away from home and to start something that big. So Patience, do you know maybe something about our psychological counseling? Is it working good? Do you maybe know people that had experience with it, or yourself, or something like that?
Unfortunately, I don't know anyone who has consulted for psychological counseling, but although I do know some, like the psychologists that are in the student psychology, like mental health program, or yeah. So that's one thing I know about, and I do know that they actually advertise a lot. So they always like encouraging people to come. So that's very helpful, because sometimes maybe you don't know where to go. They are available on Facebook, Instagram. So they're very, like, the presence is, yeah, they have a huge presence basically.
Yeah, so I can just say, like, I personally didn't have any experience with it, but I have friends who went there. It doesn't mean that something is wrong. Like, sometimes you just need a person to talk to, and sometimes it can get very stressful. And especially in the very beginning, we have even team working activities with Yevgeny or with Ruta. So those are like the two main ones that you can always ask something, always write them on Facebook or Instagram or something. And yeah, so the psychological counseling is working very well at our university, because you can literally just do an appointment online, and it, like, also now during Corona, they are doing online sessions. So it's very nice.
Yeah, and even if you don't want to go to a one-on-one counseling with one of our psychologists, there is also support groups that you can join with other people, or seminars for mental health. So it's amazing.
Yeah. And now we can talk a bit about the living situation in Kaunas. So is somebody of you living in the dorms maybe, or was living in the dorms, and can tell us something about it? Yeah, Patience.
Yeah, I'm living in the dorms, and actually when Paula was talking about like her first experience here and living alone, I was like, I can understand like the first time experience, because I actually didn't experience any anxiety, because living in the dorm, I found I had a roommate, and from that roommate I made other friends, and especially during the pandemic, it was very helpful to have like a small community, even like especially in the dorm. So for Christmas, we had our own little Christmas celebration here, because we were all away from our families. We cooked and all of that. Another thing about the dorm is, well, the expenses is really low. So if you're like a student and you don't have a lot of money for, it's very helpful. So because I can understand, like, living outside the university can be very stressful. And yeah, like the management, Beiruti, she's very nice. All the other ones, they're very nice and very helpful as well. So yeah, living in the dorms has been great. I would actually recommend it for first students to first live in the dorms first. For the first time, live in the dorms before living outside the dormitory. So you can sort of like meet other students and make some friends. Yeah.
Yeah, and just for your understanding, because I don't know how much you already checked into Kaunas. So we have the university dorms, and we also have like private dorms. It's called like Solo Society and the Residence Hall. So they are a bit bigger. The rooms are like, it's a bit more expensive than the university dorm. But it's both the same, and a lot of people who started like that are either still living there because they love it so much to be always surrounded with people, or they just started their first years like this and then later moved to a different apartment with a roommate that they already know for longer, or moved alone to something. So, and Just the dorms, they are like less centrally, but usually a lot of the students, like the ones that I know, are living in the center of Kaunas, and it's still very affordable. Like it's still like the table set that the dean was showing about the costs. Can you guys, Jismi, are you living in the center, for example, or are you living also like
Yes,
more?
I live in the center. I live in an apartment, not in the dorms. But it's not that expensive either. Like,
yeah, I can say that too. Okay, and about the schedules, I also saw there was a question in the chat, but are the schedules more flexible or very time consuming or like stressful? I already said. Yeah. Paula, can you maybe answer that from vet?
Well, it really depends on the time of the year, if you're in exam season or not. We're also lucky that the university has a rule that we cannot have more than one exam in the same day. So every time that there is an issue with that, we can reschedule it. And personally, I don't think it's overwhelming. Of course, you have to study a lot and you will be busy, but I don't think it's a crazy amount of work. I actually think it's very easy to handle if you're putting in the hours every day.
Yeah. Jismi, you are the longest out of us at the university. What do you want to say about it?
I want to say that it's not actually stressful. It's really doable, and you won't be having a lot of subjects or topics to be learned at the moment. Like at one moment, there will be only like maximum 2 or 3 topics you will be sticking on to per day, and it is doable if you put on a daily effort each day. There is nothing to be stressful about.
Yeah, so just as a example, so for example, we have in the morning a lecture or 2, maybe a seminar afterwards, and we are done by 1 or something like this, and then you have the rest of the day time to study. And now that leads me also to the next question that I have. Where do you guys study the best? Do you study more at home? Do you study in the library maybe? Or in the dorms?
In the library, it's a really good atmosphere to study. Like when you look at everyone studying, it will motivate and inspire you more to study as well. Or else in the dormitories, I used to live in the dorms when I came here, so there were study rooms where you could go and study there as well. And after quarantine, if it all goes away, you can always go to cafes as well to study. Like it's a possibility here in Kaunas, which I find really admiring.
I am very used to study at home because then I can invite my friends over. It's more interesting that way. But now the veterinary academy renovated the whole library and they created this little private study room. So I cannot wait to try those.
When I arrived, the library was already closed, so I haven't been there. My friend told me the other day that it's now open, so maybe I'll check it. But I usually just study at home as well, so I'll probably study in the dorms.
Yeah, it's for everybody different. Like some people like to study at home, some think it's a distraction. For example, me, I don't like it. For me, it's a too big distraction. I can do here anything else but study. So when I go to a library, and as Jismi said, when you see all the people studying, then you will also study. Also, you made the way to the library, so you don't want to waste your time and you just want to study. So yeah. I think that's almost, I think it's the last question that we already have. If we have more laboratory or clinical assignments than lectures and theory, and maybe we can talk also about like the clinical the clinical experiences that we had till now.
Yeah, maybe I could go about medicine. So basically, the material is divided equally. You will have a lecture, and accompanying you might have a seminar or a case discussion or even patient visits, which are in relation to the lecture that you have covered in that day. And in the clinical years, it's kind of the same. You start with the lecture and you'll be able to present clinical case reports, also attend morning meetings with the doctors, do hospital shifts, meet patients, take an like his patient history, and all of those. And also to mention the hybrid labs in the clinical years, these are the labs where you can go and practice on mannequins using algorithms, different scenarios, different situations you will find yourself in the hospital. And I find it really helpful.
Yeah. Paula, do you have something from what time do you start to work with animals?
We have 2 shifts in the clinic. One is 8 to 1, and then the other one is 3 to about 8 also. So it's about 6-7 hours, and it's really nice. And all the doctors are usually very helpful. They all speak English and really want us to see what's going on and explain things to us. So it's a great learning experience.
And from psychology?
Similar to medicine, we have lectures accompanied by seminars and a bit of practice. Sorry, but yeah, it's a bit limiting now because we have only had online lessons, and some of the practice has been scheduled for at least until maybe we have in-person classes, so lectures. So, yeah.
Okay. And yeah, so mainly for my year, because I'm in 4th year and it should have been the start of the real practice. So it was now during COVID done that we had a lot of hybrid labs. And then when the hybrid labs also had to close, of course, we had more theoretical. But now the university made it possible for the ones that really need the practice. So 4th year, for example, I have in 2 weeks a practical in the hospital for 3 weeks, and the university made it possible to get the vaccines for us. So this is a huge thanks also to the university, and you really can see that LSMU is working on everything to make the best situation for their students and to make it possible that we can study as we should. And I don't know personally anybody from Germany or other countries that got through their university the vaccines. And I just got it like last week or the week before that, and I was so happy for that because now I can go to the hospital and really practice, and that's what we came here for. So yeah, this university is really great. I just want to say it. I'm not biased, but I am.
Thank you, Natalie, and thank you all for the great discussion. Usually in our ordinary life, without Corona and all this pandemic, we used to take the participants of the open day to the campus tour. At the moment, we cannot do it, but we will ask you and invite you to join the virtual campus tour. And our ambassadors will help to describe what you see here. So let's start.
So yeah, we are starting and we are seeing here the library. So we said it's a very important place for you during studies. So the library was founded 1923 and opened in 2007. So it's really new. And as you see, it has a lot of space for to read, to also work on computers. Like in the back, there are computer rooms. And of course, all the books that you need, a skeleton, especially in 1st year, you will train a lot on it, and also conference rooms. So as a group, you can also study in the library. It's above, like it's in the 4th floor.
This is the pharmacy laboratory. It's part of the Drug Technology and Social Pharmacy department. And as you can see, everything is newly renovated and with really high standards. Looks amazing. And here you will learn how to prepare drug dosage forms like ointments, syrups, capsules, and you will also learn chemistry and biochemistry. So you'll spend a decent amount of hours here during your 1st years.
So that's nursing classes. And students are doing here rib labs with injections. Also, not only nursing students, but also medicine students. So it's just next to my room, next door to my room.
So yeah, you just have like scenarios on your tablet, and then you have an algorithm which you have to go through with, you are always a team of 3, especially like in medicine, I know it. And one is the assistant, one is the leader, and one is just the patient. And so you just do a scenario, for example, a trauma happened, and what do you do? So it's super interesting. And that's also a hybrid lab. Okay, so here we have the phantom head laboratory. That's especially important for the odontology students. Sadly, we don't have today an odontology student here. So here you see the phantom heads, and you will train on them for the 2nd and 3rd year of your studies. And you do there like some bridges or waxing and cleaning the teeth. Like you train it all on the teeth. And then next to it is the room where you will have then also your patients, your real patients from 3rd year, I think, and you treat them.
And this is the food science lab. It offers facilities and space for students, workshops during bachelor and master degree courses. It is intensively used by the students of food research, performing various experiments, aimed to implement their scientific ideas on innovations in food products and raw materials. Students are encouraged to follow values of sustainability and be responsible against the consumer. Food laboratories are arranged with modern facilities for testing of rheological properties, texture, sensory properties, nutritional properties of food products, including determination of active components such as amount of phenol components, oxidation resistance. All of this have an overall education of food professionals with a brand new approach and extra competencies aimed to sustainability and environmental friendly manufacturing and understanding and support principles of healthy nutrition.
This is the surgery rooms. This is how they look in our clinics. And from 2nd year on, surgery will be included in various modules, and you will spend a great time here. You will be able to join many interesting surgeries as well. And while there, you can also practice your Lithuanian skills with doctors, with the staff. And here, this is the prosectorium. Here you will study the human anatomy, and you will spend a lot of time here in the first 3 years of your studies. It is one of the most interesting and important place during this time. You will learn everything you need to know about the human body here, as well as you will develop your first surgical skills. You will see and maybe find a lot of interesting stuff here as well. And it can get sometimes like hard, but it is worth it, and everyone manages it through it. So.
Thank you for the tour. I think that you managed to see even some parts, even those small parts of the university, but maybe one of the most important ones. And our presentation and event is going to the end. And I know that we had some questions in advance, and maybe we will now try to answer a few questions that we had in advance. And after that, we will split to the breakout rooms of the student ambassadors and international office and other university staff. And in those breakout rooms, we will be able to discuss with you and answer all other questions. So I know that we had one very important question, which was, I think, maybe partly answered during this event, but still maybe our dean would be willing to answer why one should choose LSMU. Why not other universities, but ours?
Thank you, Justina. You know, the question is biased because I am full-hearted from my university. And if I would find something not good, at the moment I will try to correct it and ask my colleagues to correct it, because I really want the university to be best of best. But why would you choose, first of all, if you are interested in health sciences, so you will live in the community of health sciences. There's everything around the same topic. So it means that you will not be scattered with physics, with math, with other languages. You will live in the community of health sciences and you will respect life from the very beginning. The second is the city. You will live in the small, fancy, cozy city where will you feel yourself comfortable, and it's not like megapolis where you felt lost. It's really good to study here. The third thing is the facilities of the university. We are really having a lot of possibilities to practice, but if we couldn't practice, we managed to have the hybrid labs and still gain experience from the hybrid lab, not to stop. The fourth thing, we care about our students, we care about our community. We really respect every religion, every nationality, every color of skin. We do not care about what kind of feelings you have. We respect all of you. And we try to respect Saturdays, Fridays, Sundays. But of course, we follow the Lithuanian rules. We are in Lithuania, we have Lithuanian laws, and we need to follow them. And we are really trying to be very correct and right about what we do. We do not want to bother you with other things that are probably subjective, but I think that the care about our students, that we want to help you to study, and the main thing that you are coming here is not to have comfort in your life, and is not to have fun, but to get the profession. But at the same time, if you get fun, that is okay.
Thank you, Dean. I think you managed to answer this question completely. And I hope that those who doubted, they already got the idea why you have to come to study at our university. And now I think I would like to ask to join the split out rooms. And in the rooms, you will be able to ask all the questions that you want. Also, I would like to remind that you have the possibility to switch from one room to another. And maybe my colleague Oshra would also like to present those who were most active in the chat box.
Yes. Okay, thank you for opportunity. So in fact, we had very intensive discussion here in the chat. So I may say that we have 3 winners today. But anyway, thank you everybody for your questions. It was really, we had a lot of work to do now. Okay, so first winner of today is Darius Poškus. The second one is Karin from Sweden, and another one is Jens Wikström. So actually, I'm going to write names of these winners on the chat box so you may see the names. Thank you.
Thank you, Osha. Great. So now we are splitting to the rooms of the questions.